I'm Gwen Lachelt. I live in Durango, Colorado, and in 1999 I helped start the Oil and Gas Accountability Project, which is now part of an organization called Earthworks. And this video is really about the beginnings of starting a small but mighty organization in Durango, Colorado to address oil and gas issues at the state and federal level. I was inspired to start the Oil and Gas Accountability Project because there was no organization at the time with the sole focus of working with communities to address oil and gas impacts. Started very small. We started with 2 staff people and a great board of directors who really helped to guide our growth. And we made what I think are some really important decisions early on, and that was that we would only go where we were invited. And the problem is we got invited to go everywhere. I first started learning about oil and gas development in January of 1988 when I opened up my Sunday Durango Herald and learned that Amoco, which is now BP, had plans to drill 1,000 natural gas wells in my community in La Plata County. And at the time, I was working as an organizer for Western Colorado Congress and San Juan Citizens Alliance. And my phone started ringing off the hook with landowners in the county who were very concerned about the impacts they were starting to experience from the drilling activity. One of the first things we decided to do was to publish a landowner's guide to oil and gas development. And there was probably the majority of our phone calls that were coming in from all over the country were people who the landman had just knocked on their door and they had no idea what to do. They were scared, and we thought, wow, yes, we can spend hours on the phone with each person, and we did, and we still do at OGAP, but we thought that it was critical that we get a publication on the web and also in hard copy of what to expect with oil and gas development, how to negotiate with oil and gas companies, what protections to demand from companies. And so our first publication, we called it Oil and Gas at Your Door, a landowner's guide to oil and gas development. And we produced the first publication. I think we made several thousand copies. And I remember getting quite a volunteer group of folks together to haul all those boxes upstairs to our office on Main Street in Durango. And we literally, those publications flew out the door. We immediately had to start a second edition. So it was a really important publication. It was very long. It had a lot of information attached, but when we'd have landowners call and say, thank you so much for producing this guide, I read every page of it. And when you're faced with oil and gas development and you want to protect your land and you want to protect your health, you try to get as much information as possible. It was really an honor to work with so many people around the country who are directly affected by oil and gas development, yet despite having their personal issues with a well in their backyard or dozens of wells on their ranches, they really saw the need to have better regulations on the books so the same impacts don't happen to their neighbor or in another state. I initially reached out to Mineral Policy Center to see if we could form a relationship and do our oil and gas work through that organization, because they had created a circuit rider program. And they saw the importance of having staff people in the field working with communities directly affected by hard rock mining. And that was essentially what I was wanting to do with oil and gas development. So it was a similar model and also a similar way of addressing the issues. I think one of the benefits of being involved in this work is that you're really working for community. You're helping build community, you're helping build connections amongst different individuals in your community, and you're getting to know the people who are directly affected by the issues that you're trying to address and understanding how their lives have been impacted by that and working with them to try to make that change. But in the process, you're also helping build a community